So you can take that out. There's obviously something screwed in there behind. At some point it's passed. Where did it come from? Camborne?
Camborne. There's a Camborne down in a distance.
That's unusual. It's not tight, so it's been out a few times, that has.
Yeah, it's quite
Loose, yeah.
loose, don't it?
You can see with the marks, people's fingers around it all the years.
Shrewsbury.
Ah,
Got to get 'em working one day, of course.
beautiful thing to see working.
But look at the old destinations, Severn Valley Line.
Liverpool line, Severn Valley line, Hereford line, Wellington line. Okay, what does the
Maltese Cross.
Maltese
they
Cross
call
for?
it. Yeah,
What was
I
that
mean,
for?
when these were in use in Severn Bridge and Crewe Junction, if you left the peg out loose like that, the actual needle would always go to the top of the Maltese Cross.
Ah, so it's got a default stop.
Yeah, default stop there, and then you just pegged it in, and it would
Track round.
track round basically.
Colham Yard.
Yeah, engine shed.
Direct train to Hereford line, next stopping at Colham. Stopping at Colham. Engine and waggy for upper Foregate. Not described.
Hello.
Chester terminating. Crew terminating. Passenger train to Chester. Not described. Horse landing. Great Western engine on vertical. Horse landing downside. Look at mine. Shunting engine. Engine to Cotton Hill. Engine to Crewe Bank. So where was this one from again?
I believe these came out of centre cabin when that closed in the mid-60s.
Oh, blimey. And cast as well.
Yeah,
You can see where the wires came up, just in the centre.
that's right.
A lovely bit of kit, aren't they?
They've still got these in Severn Bridge and Crewe Junction, but they don't use them anymore. They
Yeah.
can't get the parts, which is a shame.
There's some nice examples in the Kidderminster Railway Museum.
Yes, I've seen them. Yeah.
They're cracking.
Really good. They're cracking, aren't they?
The first ones I actually laid my eyes on. It's a bit short. Great Western.
Yeah.
Ooh, look on top of that. It looks very short and stubby.
I'll get the other one out next door and you can,
Compare.
perhaps compare it and you'll be able to see the difference. So I'll have to go next door and get it. Right. This is a similar kind of instrument, but see if you can spot the difference now when you see the two side by side.
Ah. Yes.
What have you noticed now?
Right. Permissive.
Right.
Height-wise, it is a different case altogether, isn't it? Go on then.
It's a single deck, absolute block.
Did they do double height ones, or were they always separates? Ah, so they did. Right.
Yeah, what's the double one? It's the one with double one.
Right.
See?
So, the same style of woodwork on the casing. I know all the
Very
casings.
similar, isn't it?
Yeah. It just looks stubbier,
Yeah, it does look a bit heavier.
slightly wider. History of it? Where's the history of it from?
I
Any
don't know much
idea?
about it at all. No idea.
I'll try and find out. It's an odd one, that.
But it's, you know, you've got an absolute block, a permissive one. That's a non-pegging permissive, ascending. And then you've got the double absolute block one as well.
Yeah.
It's my theory.
So you got two downs.
So what you do, I'd have to remove that first.
Oh, go on.
So, I think this is my theory, and I think I could be right. I could be wrong, but it's just a theory. Move out of the way. I get another bell in front. Yeah. Right. Let's pull one forward. Pull that one forward. Right. Right. Imagine we're Reading Main Line West.
Yeah.
Back in its days, in the very early days. Well, I say early days because these didn't come out until 47. But I've got a picture somewhere. I'll find it afterwards. Right. You've got a train being offered, say, from Reading East Box.
Yeah.
So you accept it and you offer it on to West Box.
Yeah.
One, shout down to your colleague, get the road for me. You use a bell next to it, and
Yeah.
do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can just pull your signals in without interfering with the bloke at the other end.
Yeah. Without having to go up and down the frame.
Yeah.
So everything was tied together in the frame.
I think a few of the Paddington boxes were like that too.
Camera. Camera.
The thing about these is this is an early one because it's got leaf springs.
Yes.
The later ones, which I'll have a look in a minute, they had coil springs. That armature there is what prevents the commutator from being turned 360 degrees in both directions.
Yep.
Because if we unlock it,
Yep.
that stop engages with the peg, so you've got to go that way.
Yeah.
So you undo that. You can go from line block to block back rather than go all the way through.
Yep.
So that's what prevents the commutator being turned all the way around. That is the locking armature, which locks the commutator in position. You can't move it until you depress the plunger.
Yeah.
The plunger's got two faces to it. You've got a long face and you've got a short engaging face. The long face engages with the notches in the commutator,
Yeah.
which prevent you from holding down the release plunger and turning the commutator at the same time. The shorter face engages with the back of the locking arm,
Pushes that.
which pushes that and raises it up, which locks in place.
Yeah.
Then you turn it and it locks back in place, then you've got to
Push again.
So if we put the cover back on, if you were to hold that down, that's locked,
Yeah.
because of the long face. If you were just to press it and let go, that would lift up, engage like that. You need to do some work with this.
Yes.
Hopefully not, it's because that becomes bent.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's had a fair bit of
Yeah,
wear
that's how
on it.
that works. And then the rest is just basically a standard tyres instrument. So if you want to actually dismantle one of these, it's fairly easy. It looks complicated, but it's easy. So you undo the cotter pins, pull off everything off these two shafts, undo the bolts for the springs, take that off, and then you can pull this whole assembly off once you've carefully lifted the armatures off and slid them off the spindle. Then on the commutator, you've basically got 1, 2, 3 screws on the first part. Undo those, and then it's just a twist action, and then you pull it off. It's the same with the next piece. You've got 3 screws, twist action, pull it off, right the way through to get the base face plate off. When that's off, you can just pull the whole commutator out.
Ah.
So if we have a look at his later example, which I think that was, It's got the different springs.
Oh yes, yeah, you can see them straight away.
Other than that, it's completely identical.
Yeah,
It's
same
the
size,
same
isn't it?
arch piece, same locking piece.
I might see on the front actually.
Walters Electrical.
Walters Electrical. Brand new bell, and I don't think it's ever been
I'm gonna
used.
say, it's absolutely miraculously shiny. It is immaculate, isn't it?
I don't think it's ever been used. I mean, these are quite early then, kind of bobbins, what I call bobbins. Particular ones are cool, these two. Put them together. Let's do that round first of all. Right, it said there's 6 variations. I was always told that was a sheep bell,
Yep.
square one, and that was a cow bell. Partly the reason being, although that looks bigger, that was the bigger dome of the two. Three.
Yes.
It's sort of gongy, isn't it, really? Low. Very sort of flat sounding one, isn't it, really?
Yeah. So there's two sizes of cowbells.
Yeah.
So this
Two
one,
sizes there.
that's a nice tone.
Yeah, it's a nicer tone, isn't it? These are really early too, because I know you notice it's got a split case.
Yeah.
And that's where the lineman could use his tool to undo those and look inside without having to take the whole
Sides
bell
off,
unit
yeah.
It's also got a term stem, because this is how the Edwardian Victoria bells were like, compared with the crucifix.
Ah, yes.
And I think these probably being more sturdy, they tended to bend and break. That's my theory on that. Measure when they hadn't got the wood.
So a wartime economy measure.
Yeah, and they made it out of a Paxson resin.
It's the Thompson.
Yeah, it's a Thompson one.
And the cruciform stem again.
Get these off. This will take so long getting these off. Get out of there. It's a bit tight there.
Very economical. All pre-drilled holes ready.
I think this one was converted because Joe, I got it off, purchased it off, apparently it came out of Appleford Crossing when he worked, because Appleford Crossing box was still in when Oxford, I believe, was going PSB. So it was a bell description rather than a train describer
Yes.
to Oxford panel. That's what I believe.
So that was a mushroom bell.
Yeah, mushroom. Some call them round domes. It's an early one again because it's got the brass stem on there rather than the crucifix.
So it's had some fair use on that handle.
Yeah, yeah. I believe this one's made by a contracting company called White's, if I remember rightly. They did tend to stamp inside the bases. Get that one off, show you. If you look, turn it that way round. Oh no, you might see it better that way. If you, there it is there, you can
Just on the back.
on the back make out it White's London.
Yep. Yep. You can just see it. And the metal case.
Yeah, the old lightning protector was this, wasn't it?
Just unplugs that. So that's the church bell.
Church bell there.
Cruciform stem again. That's very tinny, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit tinny.
Wellington number 3 signal box through lines.
Yeah, one time Wellington had 4 signal boxes in its day, and then they gradually closed all 3 bar number 2, which stayed until about 1988, and then maybe panel West Cam took over
Yeah.
there, and that was the end of that.
So this is the other surge arrestor now on the Wellington block, and just carbon and doped material. It's very thin plates, they are very thin plates of doped material. Just see that they're deflecting under my hand. I'll leave that as is. And again, that unplugs so you can pull it out. The whole thing can come out. Put that back together. Together. Coldbrook now.
Single line Coldbrook valve. It's a single line gong.
Ah,
It's quite wide.
one case.
Wooden case, yeah. Not got a bad sound to it.
Oh! That is quite different.
That's the inside. Have a look at it.
Ah, yes. Heck of a striking hammer on that as well, isn't there?
Yeah. Unusual because the striking arms, I don't know what the material is. It's very.
It's not lead.
I don't know what it is. We'll take the cover off and have a look, shall we? We'll have a look inside.
So the striking hammer in this one feels actually like plastic. It doesn't feel like metal. And 2 little knurled nuts so you can adjust it up and down on striking. This one's a cylinder bell.